Live from Studio 6B on a Monday night, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice. Lots to do on a busy Monday night. Rick Delgado's here. Is going to do the news. David Zier has got the news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Slick will be in to do some sports. And everybody right now is saying, Slick looks a little different. Well, no, Slick will be here. But please welcome to the show for the first time, Caitlin Sinclair. Caitlin, how are you?
Not too bad, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. You're going to be new to this audience, although you're not new to Rav, obviously. But so why don't you take a second and introduce yourself to this audience?
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone. I am Caitlin Sinclair. I am the new spokeswoman, if we could define a woman, for Turning Point Action, and I'm very excited to be here tonight.
Well, we're happy to have you, and I was saying to Caitlin before, I was like, I don't know if you have a time frame or what you want to specifically do, but we're kind of like a free-for-all, so just...
That's where I thrive.
Yeah, it's just kind of like jump in here. Don't wait for me to act like a host or anything. Just jump in, and this is what we do. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good.
How was your 4th of July?
Who cares? No, I'm kidding.
Did you torch anything?
No, actually I did on the 3rd. I was busy torching.
Okay.
But for the whole weekend, it was drinking.
No.
I was drinking and eating. And damn it, I love food. That's all I will say.
Okay, fine. Okay, very good.
I do.
David Zier's here. David Zier's going to do some news. Mr. Zier, how was your extended weekend?
It was great. It was really wonderful. I hope everyone had a great 4th. No flags in New York City, Palestinian flags and Hamas flags, and burning U.S. flags being stomped on the ground. And Joy Reid calling Trump Hitler.
What else is new?
The New Republic did last month, right?
I mean, is there anybody at Comcast that has any decency left in them to keep this disgusting human on the air? I mean, it's just repulsive. Yeah. That she goes on at night, and that's what's considered TV over there.
Yeah. If you notice, though, she has changed her look after Ben Bergquam.
Ben Bergquam confronted her
over her Donald Trump wig.
Yeah,
a week later,
like
2 weeks later.
Yeah, I mean, did you see her July 4th video that she put out from her phone?
I didn't.
She puts out this video again. You know, she loves to just throw around the Hitler and the comparisons as like it's just nothing, and she gets on her phone again. Oh, I don't care what Joe... Kind of like Whoopi. Did you hear Whoopi this morning on The View?
Goodness,
I don't care if Joe Biden poops his pants. He's not Donald Trump. And I've had many a days of doing that, she says, or something like that.
We don't care if he poops his pants. He can't control his bowels. We don't care if he can't string a sentence together. What do you care about?
Yeah. Well, they don't care about much. They care about power. But so Joy did the same thing. He's not Trump, and Trump's Hitler, and Trump is this, and is Hitler. And I don't even like Joe Biden, his policies. I don't even like most of them, she says. But, I mean, God, just... Please go away. How is she still on the air is beyond me. So lots to talk about. Obviously, week from tonight, I guess, is the official start. David Zier, Caitlin will be there too. David will be there. Harry will be there. You'll all be out there at the Republican convention in Wisconsin, Milwaukee. A week from today kicks off. Trump, I think, speaks on, Thursday?
Yes.
Is that how it goes? And Trump and the RNC and the campaign put out the 2024 platform today in kind of a one sheet. And what's interesting is, as I read this, if you live in this country and you were brought up in, like we were you grew up in the last 40, 30, 40, 50 years, 20 years, however old you are, and you grew up in a pretty normal household, you look at this list and you think to yourself, well, look, I mean, yeah, okay. And then you think, the other party in this country opposes almost every one of these things. And you think to yourself, well, what kind of party is this that we're dealing with at this point that just clearly just hates America? Because you wouldn't think there's one thing on this that should be all of that controversial. I'll just go through a couple of them. Number one, seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. Well, we know the Democrats are opposed to that. Joe Biden today said he'll veto the SAVE Act if it gets passed.
Yep.
I mean, Elon Musk says anybody that opposes that's a traitor in capital letters. Joe Biden today says he'll veto it. meaning only American citizens can vote. Oh, no, we can't have that. No. I mean, how are we going to get...
How are you going to steal everything?
How are we going to get 2 more senators? How are we going to get the Supreme Court packed? I mean, we can't do that legitimately because we got to get rid of the Electoral College, that arcane, as they think about that. Number 2, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. I've said this before, and I'll just say it again. Just prepare yourself now. That's not happening. Not because they won't try, not because they don't want to. There will not be the political will in the country for that to happen. It's just not going to happen.
I don't know if you need the political will. You've got Trump's will, and as the commander in chief, right? He's got the platform for the security of the nation. He could say, you know what, this is a national security issue. I'm taking the bull by the horns here. Parachutes are easy to come by. Let's get a bunch and ship these people back. Let's go.
Well, a lot of Americans hate America. That's problem 1. And it's all about abortion to maybe the other third or half. So it's the first time the RNC has not explicitly endorsed a national ban on abortion in their platform.
Well, because their candidate has said he wouldn't sign it. I mean, just as of recently on the All In podcast. I mean, my point is, and you can all jump in here if you have a different opinion, I don't think one president is going to, I don't think he's going to deport 9, 10, 12 million people. It's just impossible to do.
I'm not saying he's going to get them all, but I think a large portion of them is all you need to get started.
It took Trump 2 years to really get down and dirty on illegal immigration, shut down the border 83%. He'll do it again. You know, he held the USMCA deal over the Mexican president's head. He'll come up with something else, and there probably will be deportations, but he's got to stop the hemorrhaging, first of all.
We don't have to get every single one to send a message to the American people and those coming here illegally that enough is enough. This will not happen under my watch, and make the citizens feel safe again.
Yeah.
And not only that, you might also get a fair amount of self-deportation, because one of the things he should do is cut off the money.
Yeah.
No more Social Security benefits. You're out.
No
That's
incentives.
As long
No
as
free cell phones.
Right. No hotels.
5-star hotels.
Well, they'll just come to New York.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop that here.
Well, New York gets its money from the Fed. They don't have it.
And they're renewing the program with these cards again, New York City. But I heard a guy, I think maybe in Chicago today, I don't know where it's from, but a guy came to him for a job, and he says, well, I didn't hire you the first time. You had no ID. You have no Social Security card. You have no driver's license. You came here 6 months ago. And he's like, look, I have all these things now.
Yeah.
He got everything.
You're hired.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. I don't know if he hired him or not, but, that's what's going on. They're legalizing illegals.
Number 3, end inflation and make America affordable again. I mean, that's the one that even when people who maybe tell their pollsters that they're against, there's nobody against that, because everybody in this country is feeling that.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg's against that.
Well, maybe her and her Hollywood friends, but everybody knows that the only way to stop inflation is to get them out of there, because they're going to spend like drunken sailors. I mean, $34 trillion is just the start. If he has 4 more years, it'll be, I don't know, 70 trillion, 50 trillion, 60 trillion. I don't know what the number would be.
I think I saw Oregon was getting really loose with their ability for illegals to vote in Oregon. I have a story on it later.
Large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. How do you feel about the no tax on tips? So
That's huge. That's huge.
You love it.
I love it. I think it's a great idea.
I was a waiter, a bartender for many years,
and if you're working,
I raised kids on it.
Yeah, if you're working, because a lot of these places say, and I brought this example up plenty of times, is the car wash. You go to a car wash for like $13, you can get your car washed. They do the inside. You usually leave a tip. Now that they're charging $35, $40, who's got money for a tip? They're like, you guys tapped out. Talk to your boss. They raised the price too much. Yeah.
It's like $43.
So now they're making actually less than they were when they were being paid less. It's like waiters who get paid $2.35 an hour, but they make all their money in tips. Same with bartenders.
But if you're working the register at, say, Walmart or Target or one of these places, and you're looking going, well, wait a minute, the government's going to decide who's going to pay taxes on what, and I don't get that advantage here working at $18 an hour.
Right, but it's a tip-based economy. You don't have to work at Walmart.
Saw how Americans feel. I mean, this took social media by the storm. This is huge. This little movement. I iconic writing on your receipts, no tax on tips, and the American people spoke for themselves. Seems like they love it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. Not that I'm not a huge fan of no tax on tips. I'm a fan of no tax on anything, obviously. But I'd like to revamp the whole deal. But yeah, I don't know. Defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. Well, we know all of that. And anything from our founding documents, we know the left doesn't like that. Prevent World War III, restore peace in Europe and in the Middle East, and build a great Iron Dome missile defense shield over our entire country, all made in America. End the weaponization of government against the American people. Stop the migrant crime epidemic. Demolish the foreign drug cartels. Crush gang violence and lock up violent offenders. Rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Strengthen and modernize our military, making it without question the strongest and most powerful in the world. Keep U.S. dollars as the world's reserve currency. Fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement age. Oh, geez, I thought Trump wanted to change the retirement age, cut this, cut that. Wow, look at that. Cancel the electric vehicle mandate and cut costly and burdensome regulations. Cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, racial gender ideology, and any other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. Keep men out of women's sports. Deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. Secure our elections, including same-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots, proof of citizenship. Unite our country by bringing it to new and record levels of success. 20-point, I think there's another document now, but that was just one of them, the 20-point MAGA platform that Trump and the campaign put out today. And I don't know how you oppose any of that.
Yeah, and I think there should be like 3 exclamation points and a highlight around that last word, success. Because I think that's when you're talking about the people who are working for tips, low-paying jobs, looking to move up, the younger generation, they're looking for, hey, how am I going to be successful? How am I going to afford a house? How am I going to afford to pay my bills? How am I going to do all this stuff? And I said it before, when he started talking about that in the Bronx, about when he used to do speeches and talking about success, I think that's an avenue for him that he can exploit and just turn people on and go, oh my goodness, I didn't know this about this guy. A lot of these people didn't know him in the 80s and 90s when he would make these speeches, and the early 2000s, making these speeches in front of corporations and stuff like this about success.
And, the quality of service in restaurants, hotels, everywhere has gone downhill, I say, by like half. I was in the gym yesterday. I couldn't even get a guy to tell me where the paper towels were. And, maybe it'll inspire people to go for service jobs and work hard for tips and give customer service once again.
I went to the gym. They said, we want to see what kind of shape you're in before we start. I said, I got a little winded filling out the application, so I don't know. Here we go.
They came up with pear and potato. All
right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Just getting started. We'll do some sports when Slick gets here, but we'll do some news when we get back. David Zier and Rick Delgado have got it. We're back right after this. We're live on social media in the break. Welcome on in on a Monday night. I saw somebody said they made it through the hurricane. God bless. Our thoughts and prayers are on anybody who was in the, I guess in Texas, right?
Yeah. Down in Texas.
The Facebook people, I can't communicate with you because my Facebook, I thought was hijacked by Azerbaijani rebels.
Yeah.
But we found out that a boy, or maybe a girl, maybe 13 years old, maybe 25, named Mien in Vietnam is the culprit. Owns my Facebook account now. So I'm getting somewhere with Facebook trying to restore my account.
You got a Vietnamese hacker?
It's been 6 weeks. Yeah.
Wow. What kind of content are we getting?
Great stuff. His life is
he's
awesome
helping people
now.
with Bitcoin. Yeah. He's got a new RV.
Yeah,
he's got all
clients bought new Porsches for all the money I made them. My Bitcoin, apparently.
He's helping people fight bad inflation, man.
Yep.
It's
He
awesome.
is killing it.
Yep.
What's going on, Steve, on Facebook? Weaver on Facebook from Finger Lakes of New York State. Oh, I had some family up there in the Finger Lakes.
I'm on the Rumble chat.
Susan on Facebook. Hello from Pennsylvania. David Zier, are you coming to Butler, PA?
I don't know yet. Probably be Brian Glenn on the ground in Pennsylvania this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll be leaving for RNC on Sunday.
Randy Mueller, John Phillips, Adam, hello, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share, comment, any interaction, of course, we always appreciate. Republic USA on Kick, welcome on in. Jeremy, my eyes are good, thanks. Feeling good?
Hey, Slick is here.
What's up, Slick?
Slickster's in the building.
Hello.
Hey. Slick, Caitlin, Rick.
What's up? How are you?
417 Raiders on X. What's going on, everybody on X? Make sure you subscribe, like.
I got to get on the Twix. The Twixes.
Congratulations, you've received 1,000 messages today. Already?
That's from David Zier's hacker.
Me and
Thank you.
Kevin on Facebook says, I was told I needed to get in shape. He said, I told him Ron was a shape. Yeah, there you go.
hey, Alice in YouTube. Tommy Viper, what's up, bro?
Tommy Viper.
Drag
Hey, do we
Blacker,
have a- do
Ruby,
we have
Peggy,
a
Buzzard, what's up, guys?
Clip sheet? I didn't see it.
Handsome Smitty,
Okay,
Mannequin Wizard.
Thank you.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, getting the week started. Hope you had a great 4th of July, everybody. Hope you had a great extended weekend with family and fun and friends and whatever you did. Lots to talk about. Biden, well, I mean, I don't know. We haven't talked about a lot of this since we left, I guess, Wednesday night. The little Georgie.
The Stephanopoulos interview? Oh, my goodness.
Little Georgie interviews
Oh my
dropped
God.
on Friday night instead of Sunday. They decided to go Friday night because they
That was
figured probably.
calculated.
Yeah, they probably figured less people were watching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they knew it was. They had to know it was a. I mean, you can't edit. You can only edit so much.
Or many Americans were drunk and maybe going to slur their words with
Yeah.
Biden. We're all in this together.
Yeah, there's a good. Let's drop it on Friday when everybody's drunk and maybe we'll get by with this. Was probably what they were thinking. And I mean, they did this to try to. I mean, 8 days removed from the disaster that was the debate. And they do this interview because they can control it, they can script it, they can edit it, they can light it, they can try to make them look good and whatever. I mean, I think it's worse than the debate. I think it's worse than the debate, given the circumstances of what it was. I mean, that was an absolute, and I'll just say it when no one else will, and if people get mad, people get mad. I don't think Stephanopoulos was the worst. He could have kissed way more ass than he did. Mm-hmm. Now, he's not William F. Buckley. I get it. But he at least pressed a little bit and asked some somewhat uncomfortable questions.
He did.
More than I would have ever expected him to do.
Yeah, I commend
But
him for
again,
that.
do you think that that is just on the heels of the debate, and now they're being forced to kind of acknowledge what's going on?
Absolutely. They're in full blown. We should have done our job over the last 3 years. Now we didn't. Everybody knows we didn't. We can't hide it. You're seeing it everywhere.
Well, they are all in on taking him out and knew
That
it all
too.
along.
Yeah, that too. The press briefing room today was very insurrection-y.
That was a zoo.
Yes.
I mean, it was chaotic.
Yeah.
So we'll play that as well. But seeing the media do jump ropes here over themselves to try to one up the knife in the back of Biden is laughable. I saw a tweet from Brian Stetler. I think I retweeted it on our X. The media was misled, he said, for 3.5 years. Like they're all Stevie Wonder. I mean, what are you talking about? Misled? Like they're all deaf and dumb and blind for 3.5 years. They've seen nothing. Today, CNN played a clip that I swear to God, I thought to myself, they might as well just play our Crazy Towns. That would be next.
Which one?
That might be coming.
Yeah.
CNN played. Jake Tapper played a clip today of basically Crazy Town that we would have used.
Where he read the
Just where he was making
because I think I have that.
Sound like a total fool.
Yeah, I have a couple from Jake Tapper that I sent in. I think this could be the one you're talking about. This is cut number 11.
Yep.
Jake Tapper officially, as I titled it, jumping off the Biden train.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Because he basically reads back what he said, and this would have never happened. Joe Biden has had moments like this for the last 3.5, 4 years, and no one's ever done this before. But check it out for yourself, cut number 11.
In reality, 72% of voters say that they believe President Biden is too old. That's according to CNN's most recent polling. Voters have been saying this for quite a long time. The reality is that the Democratic elites are mostly late to acknowledge these age and ability issues compared to the rest of the public. The elites have been forced to reckon with it after the debate just 11 days ago.
Look at my career. I've not had many of those nights. It was a terrible night, and I really regret it happened. But the fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be on faith that can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea I'm too old.
Right.
Fact of the matter is, how can you assure you're going to be out on your way to go, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea that I'm too old. Keep in mind, that soundbite is supposed to be reassuring to those Democratic supporters who have gone wobbly.
Yeah.
Many Democratic officials with whom I've spoken are worried that President Biden and his family and his inner circle appear to be in complete denial, not just about whatever might be wrong with him, but the state of his candidacy right now.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, that is unbelievable to see.
Yeah. On
It's funny,
CNN.
but it's so sad because where were you, Jake Tapper? There was many of these gaffes
Yeah.
for the past year and a half that we've been pointing out. It's been circulating on social media. These videos, they were pretty much one gaffe a day that would be on
Yeah.
TikTok. And where was Jake Tapper?
And Charlie Cook's
Where
been
was he?
saying for 2 years of the Cook report that Biden won't be the candidate. Like all these people are phony balonies, right?
Well, this is the perfect lead-in, Aaron. Let's just fire it up now. We'll just do it now. Maybe we'll do it again before the end of the show. Here's Crazy Town. This is, again, we've been playing these for 3.5 years, and Jake Tapper could just, maybe this is what he'll do next. Roll it.
Joining us now, the 46th President of the United States and presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden.
Hey, Mika, I'm more than presumptive. I'm going to be the Democratic nominee. The reason I've been on the road so much all over the country, and while Trump is riding around in his golf cart, filling out his golf cart before he even hits the ball. But anyway, and all the data shows that the average Democrat out there who voted, the 14 million of them that voted for me, still want me to be the nominee, number one.
Sure.
And so I'm not getting any of what I was told. I wanted to make sure I was right, that the average voter out there still wanted Joe Biden. And I'm confident they do. I think they have to acknowledge. We had large crowds, enthusiastic crowds. And, and now they're talking about whether I use a prompter. Well, I did it all extemporaneously. The fact of the matter is, I use prompters too. I don't get that. But anyway, the bottom line here is that we're not going anywhere.
Sure.
I am not going anywhere. And I've not lost. I haven't lost. I beat him last time. I'll beat him this time.
Oh.
And this is a guy who, look, we talk about debates. Look at his performance at debates. He lied over, Trump has 50 lies. Look, this is a guy who says 10% of the universe. I want to get into it. He's just a liar. And he hasn't done a damn thing since the debate. So what I did was I went out and I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any slippage at all. He says, they claim he spoke with Putin before he invaded.
My transmission.
What the hell are we doing, Joe? What are we doing? This is bizarre. How can you assure you're going to be on faith that can intervene on your way to go to, work tomorrow? Age wasn't, the idea I'm too old. In terms of my neurological capacity, I had a neurological physical as well in February. It's released. I released all my records. All of them. And I have a neurological test every single day. Try sitting behind this desk and making these decisions. You know it. Both of you know it. They know it. I'm not bad at what I do. Who else can step in here and do this? I expanded NATO. The Biden plan, which got in Israel for the Gaza Strip. I'm not going to explain any more about what I should or shouldn't do. I am running. I am running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you want to stop me,
Don't run, walk.
I'm here for two reasons, pal. One, to rebuild the economy for hardworking middle-class people, give everybody a shot. Just a straight shot. Everybody gets a fair chance. Number one. Number two, remember all this talk about how I don't have the black support? Come on, give me a break. Come with me. Watch. Watch. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party. They know so much more. But if any of these guys don't think I should run against me, go ahead, announce the president. Challenge me at the convention. He said, he largely fixed COVID. You kidding me? And what happened? Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything except me and the folks out there in the local, race. First of all, he was made up quote, suckers and losers. I was with it. He called Americans in the cemeteries from World War I suckers and losers.
That's what he said, right?
I'm not letting up, Joe. I am not letting up a little bit. And by the way, France registered, I look, if you're willing to hear from me, I'm willing to talk to you.
What?
The only thing missing from that call was a Baba Booey.
We're up to 9 House members.
Oh, my God.
9 House members calling for
we'll
him to
discuss when
step
we get back.
aside.
That's insane.
Oh, God. That's got to make him feel better, too, after that.
Oh, my goodness.
Stephanopoulos and then that. Oh, yeah. He's always good.
And then he's doing a big boy,
Big boy.
Yeah,
a big boy interview on Thursday.
Big boy.
5:30. That should
Yeah.
be fun.
Big boy.
That means 4 questions instead of 2.
Maybe it means he's working from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Ooh.
Crazy. So crazy.
Michael Moore calls it elder abuse. Oh, Michael Moore.
Oh, God.
The fat film.
Antichrist.
And there's Mika laughing.
Yeah, what was going on with those two?
Mushrooms.
Like they were just kind of rolling their eyes and they're like, oh my goodness, what are we listening
Well, I
to?
think they're,
Joe definitely had a talking to. Remember, because after the debate,
I don't know which
Joe
one's dumber, Biden or Scarborough. Which one are you talking about?
Joe Scarborough was like, it's time for him to go the next day, and all of a sudden he had to take a few days off.
He
and then
took a
comes
few days
back.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
He got a talking to.
Well, he's like, those two like talk to the White House probably every day about what they're going to talk about the next morning.
The elites, not you two.
Yeah, of course not. You two.
Not you two.
Joe Scarborough, the working man. I signed the contract with America. Phony.
If you're on social media, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, comment, share on all platforms at LFS6B. Janet Davis on Facebook. Hello. Nonya Business on X. Hello. Your test worked.
Hey, Caitlin, if people want to follow you online, where they what's your social media?
So just Caitlin Sinclair, my name. That's CAITLIN. And then on Twitter, C Sinclair TV. Yeah, I want to get into. We just launched a new today.
Okay, let's do that.
Fran, the DZ1A and the 1B, was that from that Gateway Pundit article?
Yeah,
I didn't specify.
Those are two from the Gateway article. Yeah.
Okay. I just may show one quickly. Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't clear.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Delgado's going to do some news. David Zier's got some news as well. Caitlin Sinclair joining us tonight. We're going to get into some of what she's doing with Turning Point here in a second, but let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by My Pillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Great savings, 50-60% off all the great stuff from Mike Lindell. Use code LFS6B at checkout. And if you do, send your receipts into LFS6B at yahoo.com, and we'll give you our shirt of the month absolutely free, which, of course, is the November 5th Trump We the People shirt, election shirt. You'll get that absolutely free. Slick Rick, what's going on?
All right, Big D. All eyes on Wimbledon right now. Center court, big upset today in the men's tournament. Round 4 at center court. Taylor Fritz from the United States defeated number 4 Alexander Zverev 6-4, 7-6, 6-4, 7-6, 6-3. We're talking 5 sets, a big long match, and fantastic win there. So Taylor Fritz moving on. Alexander Zverev knocked out. Of course, Djokovic, he easily cruised to his win over Rune. On the female side, Alina Rybakina, number 4, 6-3, and 3-0 over Kalinskaya, and that match actually was retired. I guess it got too dark over there because in England it's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning now. Elina Svitolina also 6-2, 6-1 over Wang. So we'll keep you up to date. But Wimbledon getting down to the couple of final rounds here for the weekend. We have MLB baseball right now in action. Guardians and Tigers, top of the 8th, no score. Pitchers duel there in Detroit. The Rockies right now trail my Cincinnati Reds 2-0, top of the 6th. Top second, Twins over the White Sox 1-0. Earlier tonight, the Pirates beat the Mets. What else is new? 8-2. It's a final. Cardinals blanked the Nationals 6-0 as well. Texas and the Angels, that's at 9:38 first pitch. Braves and Diamondbacks coming up at 9:40. And let's shoot over to a couple of stories. Well, some sad news. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. Vikings rookie Kyrie Jackson, 24, was killed in a car accident. What a terrible story, right? Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart reporting.
2 others, too.
Two other players as well. Yes, we'll get to that right now. Minnesota Vikings rookie cornerback Kyrie Jackson, a 4th-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, was killed in an overnight car accident in Maryland. He was 24 years old. James Crapia, reporter for the Oregonian, confirmed the news. Maryland State Police released further details on the accident that ultimately claimed 3 lives. Coaches and executives from Oregon and his current team, the Vikings, were quick to express their grief, offering condolences. I'm absolutely crushed by this news, Viking head coach Kevin O'Connell said. Kyrie brought a contagious energy to our facility and our team. His confidence and engaging personality immediately drew his teammates to him. In our short time together, it was evident Kyrie was going to develop into a tremendous professional football player. My understanding was he was in play for a starting cornerback position there with the team. They want to talk about being heartbroken as well. And 2 other gentlemen were killed as well. Big D, one played, I believe, for Alabama, and the other one, I think, for Arkansas. So very sad news there in the NFL. We hate to see that, but it was a high-speed accident overnight, I think 3 a.m. Sunday morning. So very sad news. And, more deaths. Norwegian cyclist Andre Drage, 25, dies after a serious accident. I know Rick is a big biking enthusiast. I'm sure you heard about this, Rick, right?
Yep.
This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Also over the weekend, catching up from stories, Norwegian cyclist Andre Drage has died at the age of 25 after being involved in a serious bike crash during a race on Saturday. Fox News reported that Drage was participating in the Tour of Austria race for Team Co-op Repsol when he fell from his bike during the 4th stage. His team confirmed the cyclist's death and noted in a post on X that their thoughts and prayers have been sent to the racer's family. It was not reported if any other racers were involved in the crash, but Drage was the only one seriously injured. So some sad news in the world of sports. Unfortunately, Big D had a report on that, wanted to recognize those young men. And last but not least, some good news here. Caitlin Clark breaks WNBA rookie record in victory over first place New York. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. There are statement games and there are statement games. Caitlin Clark just had a really big game. On Saturday, Caitlin Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to hit a triple-double as she notched 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds. Also, she became the first player in the history of the Indiana Fever ever to record a triple-double, which is unbelievable. And as you might expect, since she's a rookie, Clark also became the youngest player to hit a triple-double. The Fever needed every bit of Clark's contributions on Saturday night. Indiana trailed the Eastern Conference frontrunner 75-68 with with 4:20 remaining. However, Indiana rallied for an 11-0 run that put them ahead to stay. The Fever won 83-78. So good to see Caitlin Clark, who's gotten bumped and roughed around a little bit of late, Big D, but her teammates, I guess, have her back now at this point, which is good, and good to see that young lady. It's nice to report on this because we're changing the face of a game, and that would be the WNBA with this young lady, and I really like what she's doing. She's putting, asses in seats, so to speak, and filling up that arena, and it's really exciting. So, again, Caitlin Clark, congratulations to you, and you're an inspiration to a lot of young women and men, and good stuff. So that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you with some other updates.
Hopefully not men that want to play in the WNBA, but you never know. So.
I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you.
All right, well, speaking of Caitlin's, that's a good lead into our guest tonight. Of course, that's Caitlin Sinclair, who's, I guess, a newer, spokesperson for Turning Point. So tell me some of the stuff you're doing with them, some of the stuff you guys are working on.
Yeah, well, first of all, no hand-eye coordination. So separate, definitely separate from Caitlin Clark. So we actually, at Turning Point Action, just launched a new initiative this week. One of our new coalitions, which is the Gen Z Coalition, part of our Chase the Vote operation. So getting out the word, registering voters, recruiting activists, and then chasing ballots. That is what these coalitions are all about. This one particularly touches my heart, and I can relate to, because it is the group that, first of all, I belong to. But second of all, the group, the younger generation that I have been calling the most apathetic, I no longer think that is the case. This young generation, Gen Z, wants a voice, and they want their country back. So this coalition is all about encouraging America First values, the family unit once again, real relationships. We've replaced all of these things with social media, with celebrities, with casual sex. We need to get back to restoring America's values, and it's so beautiful and encouraging to be in a room at Turning Point Action for some of these events with these young people that so badly want to make a difference and want to get involved. So I no longer am labeling them the most apathetic group, because the millennials, the Gen Z, they're angry, right? They realize now that they've been lied to, they've been robbed, they've been stolen from, and they want to take their country back. They need an economy for their future, right? They need somewhere to live. When was the last time, gentlemen, that an entire generation felt like they could not afford to buy a home? Yeah. When was the last time in our country where an entire generation was coming out of college with more degrees on paper, but zero life skills, no coping mechanisms, and really no American dream to look forward to? Yeah. So I'm really excited and encourage our viewers listening and watching tonight to get involved. No matter what state you're in, you can go to our app, which is just TP Action, or turningpoint.com, and find out how you can get involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's great stuff. It's the last part of that you talked about, the chasing ballots, I'm most interested in. Mm-hmm. But you guys see it, obviously, in Turning Point. You see these young kids coming to your events, and obviously you guys are getting to a lot of them, but there's still, you look at college campuses these days, and there's just still so many of these kids, like you said, that are out there that just don't have any idea about the founding of the country, why people think this is the greatest place on earth, what the country's all about. There's so many of them, mostly because the left controls our colleges and universities and businesses and Hollywood and movies and music and everything else. There's still so many of them as you look at what's going on these college campuses, even with this, obviously attack in Israel back in October. There's just so many of them that still don't get it.
Yeah, and that all goes back to messaging, right? I myself was covering some of these rallies as a reporter on the ground, and I would interview some of these students, and they would have signs up that said the most horrendous stuff. They were standing with a group of people that I don't even believe they knew what that group of people stood for. They didn't even know what their own signs meant, some of these protesters at an NYU or Columbia University. So it all goes back to messaging. So with these coalitions and at Turning Point Action, what we're first of all encouraging folks to do is talk to your neighbor, right? Educate each other, make friends, own your streets is a saying that we have over at TPA. Get to know your neighbors and have these conversations. Host a movie night, go for a bike ride, go for a walk, and have these conversations. And that can start at the younger generation, right? So they so badly want to be a part of something. This generation feels like they don't have a voice and they don't belong to either party.
Well, your crowd, the TPUSA, which has been explosive, these people, these students used to come out of college too, with specific degrees, finance, whatever it was, business, and they would be making $70,000, $100,000 a year. That doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
You can't get a great job. You can't keep up with the rent in the big cities. They're definitely facing a problem.
Well, what was Charlie's last book?
Yeah. Don't send your kids to college.
Right.
College is a big fat scam, right?
You're right about that.
Hey, let me ask you this question, Caitlin, because you said something there that a lot of these kids, and this is something we've talked about here, they just want to be part of something. Do you find that a lot of these kids, you know, they mentioned the ones on the college campuses holding a sign, don't know what it means, don't know who they're standing next to. Do you think that that's part of the problem? Is that, you know, you get all these people that are social misfits, basically, that they're not cool enough for this group. They're not athletic enough for that group. They're not pretty enough for that group. They're not enough for this group or that group or whatever. And they just find their way to these mishmash groups of people that don't have their best interests at heart. They just need numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And social media plays a huge role in that, right? And like to David's point, these are our kids, these are my peers and contemporaries that feel deflated. They feel disenfranchised. They cannot afford the American dream. We are not living as well as our parents did. We're going to be the first generation that is not better off than our parents. So there's already this level of depression and anxiety and a degree of just loss of hope, right? So again, they so badly want to be part of something, but by combating that with the right messaging and starting these conversations, I think that's how we can see maybe that lessen a little bit. And when you have an organization or a coalition to belong to, right? We don't just have Gen Z coalition, we have a faith coalition, we have Black America coalition, we have the Moms coalition. So there's other groups to belong to and feel like you're around like-minded people and actually understand what you're standing for, what you're protesting.
I have 4 kids done with college, one finishing up in 2 years.
God bless.
You know, their crowd is very inspiring, and there is an element out there that has their head screwed on straight. But the other part is everyone got a trophy, and it's not good.
I did not get that growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any of us did, but that's the world we're living in, right? Everybody gets a trophy now.
That's why we're here.
We got just 45 minutes. You know. We got.
That was him, not me.
Do you think that just getting back to the chasing ballots thing? Do you think that the Republican Party's in better situation going into 24 than they were going into 20?
Oh, that's $1 million question.
I think that's an answer right there.
I'm concerned. But I think by chasing ballots, when we say that, we mean just following through and encouraging people, right? To make sure that you're getting that piece of paper.
Right, but do we need to make it more than just that? Do we need to do what they do and play on their playing field where we can?
You know, I have faith in the new leadership at the RNC. I have faith that they're doing the work and we're doing our part. And if everyone does their part this time, I think we'll be in good shape. But I am worried.
Yeah. All right. More to do live from Studio 6B. We'll do some news with Delgado and Zier coming up on a Monday night. Real America's Voice. Stay there. All right, we're live on socials. If you're following us on social media, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, share at LFS6B, YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick, Rumble. Chris Allen on YouTube says, hello, David Zier. Keep up the excellent work.
Yeah, who's that?
Chris Allen.
What's up, Chris? How you been, man? What's going on, sir?
Bob Andrews on Facebook says, Caitlin, stop drinking that cyanide lace Celsius.
What's cooking, Rebecca, AZ Mikey, Clint Legite, Zephyrin K.
Clint Leggett says Damon got a trophy for being the best wiffle ball hitter in the neighborhood when we were kids. Was that? Yeah, no, I don't know if that's true. No. We used to play a lot, though, in my side yard, wiffle ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a regular yellow bat, yeah. But the neighbor's yard across the street was a home run, so you had to clear the street.
Have the chair.
Or maybe in the street was a home run. I don't remember.
Use a folding chair for a strike zone, and right?
No.
We had a neighbor who used to come out with a sword when you hit a ball in his front yard.
Is Damon in the Woody's Hall of Fame? I don't know. I should be, though. Damn it. If I'm not already.
Woody's Hall of Fame.
I put them on the map.
Still got to play that interview for you.
Red says Damon is a scratch golfer. I am definitely not a scratch golfer. I was never a scratch golfer. At my absolute best, I probably played to, I'd say, maybe a 7 or 8.
That's pretty good.
Now I played it more like a 70 or 80.
Yeah.
I've seen you swing.
I seen you swing. I know you swing.
My lowest was a 15.
That's the best. Still, I still think that was my best, one of my favorite moments of the whole. I seen you swing. I know you swing.
Oh, my God.
You got to fix that iris, Aaron.
That was a beauty.
Oh, come on.
It's I think it doesn't remember like the other cameras do. So just grab the ring. I had it at like a 2-4, 2-8 split.
$30 seconds, Aaron.
Okay.
Did me and Joe ever play golf together? No. Big D, how many likes do you see? I see only 156, which is horrible. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. David Zier is going to do some news. Caitlin Sinclair sitting in with us all night, which we appreciate. Of course, Turning Point USA, TP Action, check them out. Doing a lot of great work, as she just described. Of course, they'll all be out at the Republican convention a week from today. And that should be an interesting week. I think Trump's going to tell us who he's running with before they get there. I mean, doesn't the VP speak on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the schedule.
Man. And now I had heard that he was going to do a rally in the state where the VP is coming from, but I don't see any rallies coming up of any state that I would associate with a VP.
No. And Rubio is speaking at a separate event, I think, tomorrow, right?
Miami rally.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Rubio today, and Rubio in 2016 was like the strongest pro-life candidate that was out there. Now today, he has kind of backed off of that. I think there's an article in CNN that says he's more for the Republicans taking that off the platform, which is, I don't know. I mean, you just have to quit. I mean, I guess that's because the top of the ticket obviously wants it that way. But man, I'm not really sure that is that the road the Republican platform wants to go down. All of a sudden, we're going to try to weave our way in and out of this issue so that we don't have to what?
Well, it's not an issue anymore, right? It's back to the states. It's not a. It shouldn't be a problem.
Well, there are a lot of Christian conservatives saying this is a Christless conservative party now.
Yeah,
there is a lot of outrage about this.
Yep. All right, so we'll get into all of that. Let's do some news, though. News is brought to you by our friends at 7Cells, 7cells.com. LFS6B is the code at checkout, 10% off. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, tons of news coming out of the White House, from Parkinson's doctor visits to radio hosts getting fired. Where do we start off with? Well, let's go with the doctors, shall we? Joe Biden's doctor met with leading Parkinson's disease specialists at the White House, not only earlier this year, has emerged amid ongoing questions about the president's health, but it turns out now they're saying up to once a month. They're saying the last 8 months in a row, this doctor's been visiting. Dr. Kevin O'Connor, Mr. Biden's physician, met with Dr. Kevin Kennard, a top neurologist, on January 17th. And according to the White House visitor logs, a further 7 more times. Mr. Biden has refused to take a cognitive test, even though in some interviews he says he took one. In some, he says he takes one every day. We're not really sure. I don't think he's really sure.
Come on, man.
As Trump said, I don't even think he knows what he's talking about.
Come on,
man.
Following
Come
a
on.
television debate last week in which he appeared to freeze and forget his lines, the White House has denied what?
I mean, the idea.
One of those 28 times he said idea. The White House has denied that Mr. Biden has a degenerative mental condition, and the president himself has said his debate performance was just a bad night.
Sure.
After a bad day and a bad week before that and a bad month before that. Dr. Kennard, a movement disorders specialist, works at Walter Reed, a military hospital in Maryland, where Mr. Biden receives his checkups. The visits revealed by the New York Post, which were viewed on the White House visitor log, they show that Dr. Kennard also met with a Megan Nasworthy, an official who liaisons with the Walter Reed Medical Center in March. So Mr. Biden's health, of course, has become a major threat to his reelection campaign after some Democrats and more now are calling him to step back from the 2024 election and make way for a younger nominee.
So this came up today in the briefing room. This specific question about the doctors and who's met who and who's done what. And, of course, Ed O'Keefe from CBS has decided now that, well, he really cares. Along with the rest of the media. They really care all of a sudden. And here's what that looked like today.
We provide to all of you.
It's a very basic, direct question.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a second.
8 times, or at least once, in regards to the president.
The physician, actually.
Hold on a second.
Not what you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please.
A
little respect here, please.
Oui.
So every year,
Talked.
around the president's physical examination, he sees a neurologist. That's 3 times, right? So I am telling you that he has seen a neurologist 3 times while he has been in this presidency. That's what I'm saying. I am telling you that he has seen them 3 times. That is what I'm sharing with you.
It's a lie.
Right?
Results?
So every time he has a physical, he has had to see a neurologist.
Really?
So that is answering that question.
No, it's not.
No, it is. It is. You're
Dr.
asking
Kevin
me.
Kennard, come to the White House
But I
specifically about
also
the
said to
president's
you,
condition.
Ed, I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names. We cannot share
That's
names.
BS.
Well, that's total BS because the names are public.
Yeah.
I mean, what is she talking about?
Wow.
The names are public. She's not hiding any names. Everybody already knows the names. They're on the logs.
Yeah.
We have to.
Others he would have met with.
We
But
cannot-
you can share names in regards to if someone came here in regards to the president.
We cannot share names of specialists broadly.
What's a
From a
HIPAA violation?
dermatologist
That's
to a
HIPAA. Come on.
neurologist. We cannot share names. There are
She's a
security
HIPAA.
reasons.
She's a
We have to protect.
It's public.
I understand that.
Exactly.
I hear
It's
you.
right there for anyone to see.
Ed, I hear
understands
you.
that.
I cannot from here confirm any of that because we have to
she
keep
can't
their
confirm.
privacy. I think they would appreciate that too. We have to give them.
Patient or the doctor?
We have to keep their privacy. I
information.
hear you.
And you're gonna allow this to fester and linger for
Guys,
unless the White House-
Where can I crawl
hold
into?
on a second. There's no reason to go back and forth and be in this aggressive way.
Miffed around here about how
Aggressive?
information's been shared with the press corps about him.
What are you missed about? What are you missed
Everything
about?
he
Oh, Ed O'Keefe is miffed about ways
3.5 years later.
they haven't done their job for 3 years, and now all of a sudden they are miffed about the way information is being spread to the press corps.
Oh, man.
Is this laughable or is this laughable?
just asked about.
And then every time I come back and I answer the question that you guys
answered it
asked.
correctly, didn't have to come back and clean it
I
up
never
3 days
answered the
later.
question incorrectly. That is not true. I was asked about a medical exam. I was asked about.
She has lied to you for 3.5 years, every single day, day in, day out. You guys walk in there and get slapped around from her. She lies through her teeth every single day. Not one of you ever questioned her aggressively about her lies. But today, now, all of a sudden, because they're exposed with nothing, they're all in their birthday suits with nothing to hide. You can't put anything in front of them. Now they all care. Now they all care the way information is coming to them and what her interests are as she goes out there. Now they expect her to be, oh, I can't believe this, the way we're being treated here.
About a physical, that was in the line of question that I answered. And I said, no, he did not have a medical exam, and I still stand by that. Matter of fact, the president still stands by that. He had a verbal check-in. That is something that the president has a couple times a week. A couple times.
What do you think a verbal check-in sounds like with Biden?
Well, either way, he should have failed that.
Are you alive? Yes.
Okay, good.
Can you verbally put a sentence together?
Dr. Kevin
Face pony
And
soldier.
I am telling you right now that I am not sharing confirming names from here. It is a security reasons. I am not going to do that, Ed. It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me. I'm not going to confirm a name. It doesn't matter if it's even in the log. I am not going to do that from
Even if
here.
it's written there.
That is not something I am
won't say
going
it is.
to do. What I can share with you is that the president has seen a neurologist for his physical 3 times. 3 times. And it is in the reporting that we share a comprehensive reporting. Matter of fact, it's more than what the last guy shared, and it is in line with what George W. Bush did. It's in line with what Obama did. And so it is comprehensive. It is out there. I just read a quote from it, but I am not going to devolve somebody's name or confirm someone. I'm not going to do that. That is as privacy for that person. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me from here. I'm just not going to do that. It is inappropriate. It is not acceptable.
Yeah, exactly. We stand on principle here in
totally.
the White House briefing room. Ed.
Always.
Yeah, even though we have it printed out
I don't know
for
what you do
every
over there
day.
at CBS, but maybe you don't like it. God, what a jerk.
So there's that.
Yeah. Great. All right, more news coming up. Wow, that was the end. That was a quick hour. Hour 2 coming up.
Sound like the Happy Blues.
Sound like the blue.
All right.
So we're live in the chat.
Teresa on Facebook. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, chats. I'm in the Rumble chat, Rumblers. A deplorable Neanderthal is in there. Tea Leaf is in there. Meme Myself and I is in there.
Me, myself, and I.
Farmer Brooke, Trump did his own press conference. Says, could you imagine Biden trying to walk in that room? I mean, come on, stop,
boy.
stop.
Lights out, baby.
Lisa 1079 is asking, who's the girl in the middle? That would be
That's
Caitlin
me.
Sinclair.
What's up? Oh, we know what a girl is?
Yeah, we're allowed to acknowledge it.
That's amazing.
Carol on Facebook, my eyes are good. Thank you.
Anna Kayla, it's nice to see Caitlin on the show. Liked her from the other network.
The other side.
I'm seeing a lot of love
hope
for
you have her
Caitlin as
back.
well in the chat.
Sending love right back.
Those are all coming. Bigfoot TKMC is in there. Marty Kin is in there. These are all Rumble people I'm going through. B-Wag is back.
Someone said there's 4 girls and David Zier on the show tonight. David Zier is the only man on the show.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm fine. I'm comfortable with my feminine side. I can care less.
This looks
I'm
okay
good with
with
that.
it.
I'm good.
You
I'm
haven't
down.
seen David cry.
it's a sight.
Do you sing Air Supply at the gym when
Yes.
you're on the rowing machine?
I'm all out of love.
I'm a little love.
That's a double workout.
Actually, I listen to the War Room in the gym.
He's actually pumping along with Macho Man.
Actually, the new Billy Joel song, Turn the Lights Back On. I've been playing that on the piano.
I like that song.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and then you see
Beautiful
what
song.
Sandy
Yeah.
was there and you turn him back on.
Sandy says,
yeah.
bring
My
back
wife's
Caitlin
like-
more often on X.
That's a good
My wife makes me play it.
Dave 3504.
Kevin Devitt says, when is the next What Even Is That? Good
it's coming up
question.
this week. You know what? There have been so many different. I've got like a list of things that have happened over the past 2 weeks.
The question was, when is the next What Even Is That?
Hey,
it wasn't,
who was it?
What's your excuses?
Who was it?
Kevin.
Kevin, I appreciate the question.
It's now called
and
When
the
Even Is That?
opportunity to answer that question.
When even?
Well, why don't you do it then?
Yeah.
You know, I
sound
just
like
wanted to
Corinne
say.
Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, you sound like I feel like I'm in the press briefing room here.
Well,
Mike's a cut.
According to, I
Mike's
appreciate the question.
Mike's a cut.
So never.
This week.
Live from Studio 6B, Hour 2, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in on a Monday night. If you're watching on Real America's Voice, at Real AM Voice, Getter, Rumble streams, of course, the Real America's Voice app, americasvoice.news on the web. If you're watching on any of our streams, at LFS6B on everything, except Instagram, where we are at LFS6B Show. But at LFS6B everywhere else, make sure you follow, like, subscribe. We always appreciate that. Caitlin Sinclair's sitting in with us tonight from Turning Point. Great to have her here. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do some more news. David Zier will do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway was supposed to be in the building, but Harry's on his way to Wisconsin, Milwaukee tomorrow to start setting up for the RNC RNC convention, which starts a week from today. President Trump put out his 20 or so platform, RNC platform came out today. And people, I think across the board, seem pretty happy with it, would you say?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Did you guys also see the themes we have for the RNC?
Yeah, make America strong again, make America rich again, make America, I saw a bunch of them.
Safe again.
Yeah, kind of the way he ends all of his campaign speeches, I think.
I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And, of course, we talked a little bit before we get back to news about we got to have a VP pick, you would think, here, even if he doesn't know who he's running against. Although, so, Caitlin, we have a faction on the show here that thinks Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee. Those will be the Looney Tunes on the show, including those two and this guy.
Yeah.
And then there's me and John Solomon who say that Biden is going to be the nominee because they can't get rid of him. So we have two kind of prevailing thoughts here.
No.
Today's a bad day if you're on your team, because Biden clearly said he's not going anywhere. So what do you guys have to say?
He sent a ransom letter, basically.
That he didn't sign.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But he also
Caitlin.
called himself the first black woman.
Well, I mean,
So
he's not going to make him any smarter, but he's just not going to go anywhere.
I'm just going to throw it right back at you.
We're up to the 9th Democrat in the House calling for him to step down.
By the way, it's funny that you mentioned that because I actually have that. Caitlin, will Joe make it to the election or will he be replaced? That was going to be my
So whose
my
team are you joining? Are
Because
you
we
joining Team Sniff Chemtrails over here, or are you joining Team
Any other day, yes.
Just the News, John Solomon, the best in the business, and me, who's tagging along on his coattails?
Well, I
Who's
must
an
say,
idiot.
John has not called in since that day because he's seen what's been going on.
No.
Yes.
John has not changed his position. He is with me solid all the way.
You're a man alone.
After today, it's very hard to believe that he would. And there's just.
Thank you.
I think he's gone. But News Not Noise was great today with Solomon. He did it was a great show.
I think he's gone.
They are not running that thing. No way.
They don't.
He was never running it anyway.
Exactly.
But they're not even going to use him as a figure.
I don't think they can use him as a figure.
Gone.
You know, I saw this great movie called Knox Goes Away with Michael Keaton this weekend, and he had a degenerative neurological disorder which was accelerating rapidly. He was a hitman and had to get his life in order before he forgets everything. I think his disorder is rapidly degenerating.
Okay, are we at least all on the same page? The replacement would be Kamala Harris.
It would have to be.
Has to be.
For now.
Because
It's too close.
Because you've got the money situation, which they can't move the money to somebody else. And then there's the ballots. Who do you get on the ballot? Because you can't pull them off.
Right.
That's too much. That's too difficult. So
New York Post has a scenario, three-way scenario today. You know, the last one is Kamala not involved.
Really?
I just can't see how that's possible.
No,
What
they
about
got-
FEC rulings and stuff like that? I mean, there's that factor too.
We haven't asked the audience to weigh in now that we have more information. We're farther on down the road.
Yeah, what do you
how many
think?
people are still on Team Chemtrails, or how many people are with Caitlin, John, and I? team.
Can I be Team Switzerland?
We get it.
See, she's afraid to commit to
Caitlin doesn't sound totally committed to this point. I'm getting a little worried already. But all right, let's do some more news, and we'll wait for the audience. Oh, some Farmer Brooks says he's gone. Yeah, well, and mentally he already is, yes. But we're talking about is he the nominee, as he said today? Joe, I'm not going anywhere, Joe.
Right. Well, Joe's ready to go right before the debate. He's ready to go, all right.
You know what I think, and then I'll do some news for you, is that the Biden removal is a problem, not only for the Democratic Party, but as we know, I think it's Jill Biden that's controlling him at this point, is that there is nothing for them to go to. What does he do next, right? Like usually ex-presidents, they go on book tours, they write books, they go on speech tours, they love around. There's no legacy for him to capitalize on. There's no
Clinton Foundation?
There is no Clinton Foundation for him to capitalize on. They have nothing. No, but I'm saying this is why he's going to hold on for dear life, and they're going to have to force him out.
Or if he was really serious and really sorry, and that was really just one bad night, then the American people want to see him going 3 stops a day, going on the campaign trail, a long-form live interview, do one with Fox, do one with MSNBC. We don't care. Prove to us that you're actually sorry. Prove to us that was a one-off.
Yep. Give us another debate too.
But there is nothing for him to fall back on. There's no book. There's no book deal. There's no speech tour. There's no foundation. There's no income stream for that family. Mm-hmm. They are done. When Joe Biden is done, Hunter Biden is done. What is he going to do? Nothing. Jill Biden, nothing. The brother, nothing. They're going to get frozen out because the only meal ticket they had is the Babbling Brook over there.
He can go into an OnlyFans career.
I'm going to leave that
Hunter.
there.
Hunter can. I thought Joe for a second. I almost threw up on here on the set. So
that's just my thought on the Biden thing.
Well, I just think you guys are in denial after today. I just think you're in denial. Your whole team is in denial that he's not going anywhere. They can't get rid of him.
When is the convention?
Unless Obama comes to him and says, Joe, we'll give you $500 million for the Joe Biden whatever, we'll build it in Delaware. You guys can have a constant job. You'll have constant income
Limited
stream for all of you. Right. We'll have an ice cream stand on the first floor. We'll have yogurt on the second floor.
Yeah.
I think Operation Remove Biden is in stage 4.
That's the long shot that you guys have. The only long shot is Obama comes to him. Or they send Hillary over to him with a MyPillow, and then you could be okay.
You already did.
Then he's out of here.
She's hanging around.
And then you've got this breaking story. I don't know how true this is. Came out at 6:58 p.m.
There we go.
Breaking, former Biden stenographer Mike McCormick. Have you heard from this guy?
Yeah, we've heard from him for years.
Believes Joe Biden blackmailed Barack Obama with threats of revealing the former president's alleged private lifestyle.
Well, that's insane.
That's
insanity. Who's that from? Leading Report?
Yes.
Of course.
Well, Obama's private lifestyle is well known, and it's not good.
And it's been documented now, so it's not...
If there's any blackmailing going on to get rid of Joe, it's going to be the opposite. It's not going to be Joe going to him. It's going to be him going to Joe with Susan Rice and Valerie Jarrett and about 4 others. And say, hey, Pops, dog track time.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's do some news as Trump's VP choices are, as they call it, an embarrassment of riches, and the choice is imminent, according to Jason Miller.
Let's name those embarrassment of riches. Let's go.
One of them that you're a big fan of, and whether it's a VP pick or a Trump surrogate, he does a great job whenever he's out there. This is cut number 3. Take a listen to J.D. Vance for yourself. Here he is talking about Alvin Bragg and the DOJ officials and what they did to Donald Trump.
Well, Kristen, first of all, you said that it happens all the time, that the number 3 person in the Department of Justice jumps ship to join a local prosecutor's office to go after the president's political opponent. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of American democracy, and I don't think that we should legitimize it. Now, if Donald Trump's attorney general had his number 2 or his number 3 jump ship to a local prosecutor's office in Ohio or Wisconsin, and that person then went after Donald Trump's political opposition, that's a different conversation.
Senator,
all he's suggesting is that we should investigate credible arguments of wrongdoing. That's all that Donald Trump is saying. That is not a threat to democracy. That's merely reinforcing our system of law and government.
Yeah, and there he is controlling the situation.
I thought Chuck Todd was unwatchable. She is absolutely unwatchable as the host of that show. She is so horrid. It's beyond description how bad she is. She sucks so bad, it's
And
frightening.
we covered Kristen Welker, Caitlin, on Media Exposed this week, how awful she was.
Oh, God, she
Unbelievable.
sucks. What else, Delgado?
Well, according to a senior advisor for the Trump campaign, the aforementioned Jason Miller, he said Monday that former President Trump is narrowing down candidates for his running mate and is close to making a final decision, perhaps as soon as this week. The VP pick has gained increasing importance as multiple commentators and Biden allies in the media have called on the president to withdraw from the race, calling into question whether Vice President Kamala Harris will step in as the nominee for the Democrat Party. As Miller said, it's almost an embarrassment of riches because there are so many good people talking about Trump's choices for a running mate. And what President Trump has said is that whoever he does pick needs to be able to step in and do the job on day one.
Yeah, well, there's not an embarrassment of riches. There's not great choices down the line like, oh, just put a blindfold on. There's a few. That's it. And a lot of the ones they're talking about are not them. So let's hope J.D. Vance is up there, given the names we have right now. So,
all right,
let's do some more news. And this time we'll do it with the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. Saturday mornings. And that would be one Mr. David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
So much going on for you. Caitlin, welcome to the show tonight. We co-hosted Media Exposed with Adam Weiss the last 2 weeks. Second episode aired this weekend. Be on Sunday night, this Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, exposing the MSM lunatics out there. And tomorrow night, I'll be at the America First Warehouse with Trevor Loudon, who's really great. He's an author, and he is from New Zealand. And for more than 30 years, he has been exposing the radical left and Marxism and terrorist movements and the Democratic Party's consistent defunding of the U.S. military, support of open borders, sexualization of children, the climate change agenda, pipeline shutdowns, and other anti-American policy. Links it all back to communism. I'll be interviewing him tomorrow night after we show his documentary, The Enemies Within, and I'm going to air that on Breaking Point this Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern on Real America's Voice News. So don't miss that. He is great. And we're going to go take a deep dive into England. The Labour Party destroyed everybody in England. The Socialists won out in France through a plurality. So a lot going on there. And I just want to get a couple of cuts here. 4th of July, cut number 12, no American flags on July 4th in New York City. Cut number 13 and 14, Philadelphia and LA, American flags burning. Why don't we show those? Yeah, this is the United States. This is Washington Square Park, I think. Happy 4th of July, America. So this is what we got to deal with in November, America haters. And there's a lot of them.
That park just breeds animals.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
It does. It's a sin.
And the only flags we saw on the 4th of July were on the ground across America burning.
In New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York has, what did the stupid mayor say when he took over the job? New York's got we got New York. We're special.
It's just awful. Just awful what is going on out there. And 30 seconds here. I don't know if we have time for the clips, but I have more when you come back.
Yeah, hold it. We'll play it when we get back. More David Zier, more Caitlin Sinclair, Slick, Delgado, all coming back right after this. All right, we're live in the chat. They should all be rounded up and given a ride to the middle of the ocean. The sharks are always happy to see anyone. There you go. Bucky's fan on YouTube. What's going on?
Hey, Julie.
Son, get it.
That's Julie.
Yeah, get her.
We love Bucky's.
Yep.
Anyone go to Bucky's? I love Bucky's.
How about Woody's? Does
Woody's
Bucky's
is good
compared
too.
to Woody's?
Bucky's is a Walmart-sized gas station with great pulled pork and great jerky and about 40,000 feet of retail sales at rest areas along I-95. You know what? They might have sushi. They got everything else.
Nothing like gas station sushi.
Pork.
Bucky's an amazing operation. Amazing operation.
You know, the one I like is the one in Pennsylvania. The
Wawa's or
the shits, not the shits.
Sheets.
That's the sheets. Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Whatever that's called. That's why I think I called it that on air when Biden went there, didn't I?
Yeah. Nobody knew who he was.
I called it the shits then too. The sheets.
I made many a late night run.
You go there
with our cameraman.
No, that's not true. Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
I made many a late night run with Brandon Jarvis on the road at Sheets.
I want one coffee maker that the Sheets has. It's probably about $20,000.
Yeah,
those things are unbelievable.
Yeah,
we're lucky we have coffee here.
Shut up! Stop laughing, Delgado.
Delgado fell on the floor.
Moron.
Yeah. You got milk?
Harry is looking for
I think we started that slogan.
I think he still has oat milk.
Where is Harry?
None of that soy boy shit. Come on.
Harry.
Exactly.
Harry said he'd be here at 7:30.
Harry said he'd be here at 7:30.
What day?
Next week.
Hey, if you eat gas station sushi, then you'll get to the shits too. Come on. Do I have reads here?
Yes, you do.
Oh, crap.
Oh, good Lord. Sound like a blue. Oh, man.
Okay, let's see. Who do I have, Fran?
Birch Gold and Wellness Company.
Birch Gold and the Wellness Company. All right, go on.
Where do you go from here?
My mom lives in Setauket now, so I'm just here for the next.
Sound like the blues on a Monday night. Let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. If you weren't following the news, a massive hit to the U.S. dollar just came down in June when Saudi Arabia did not renew its 50-year petrodollar deal with the U.S. Since 1974, Saudi Arabia has sold oil solely in U.S. dollars, and that was a huge benefit to our global economic dominance. Now they want options other than the U.S. dollar. So I ask you, if there's less demand for the U.S. dollar, that's one of the reasons that Americans are turning to the Birch Gold Group. For over 20 years, Birch Gold has helped tens of thousands of people certify their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. To learn more, text the word America to 989898. Claim your free information kit, no obligation kit on gold. That's America. Text it to 989898. Birch Gold has earned their trust with their education-first approach, their thousands of happy customers, their countless 5-star reviews. Protect your savings with gold before the dollar plunges any further. Text America to 989898 and do it today. That's good, Fran. We'll do the other one coming up. I'm logged out here. Let's do 18 past the hour. Let's do some more news. And here with that is the host of Breaking Point, and that would be Mr. David Zier. Mr. Zier, what else is going on?
I've covered over 100 Trump events in the field for RAV over the years. I've never seen anything like this. Cut number 19. This is something the Trump people have never had to do before an appearance.
In the country. So we're going to start in 2 minutes. I'm sorry, I know it's hot outside, but this is going to be a fun event. We're going to start in roughly 2 or 3 minutes. If I can ask people to start consolidating into the space. We just want to show how many people are here, right? And we got some friends in the back. Let's show the press how much energy there is to re-elect Joe Biden.
There's like 200 people there. They asked them to all move in to make it look like it's a bigger crowd.
Why is it that crowd looks exactly like I would think they would look? Is that terrible to say?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Gavin Newsom spoke there, but nobody shows up, and it's all a myth. Trump gets 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70,000 people out all the time. Yep. And then we have cut 18, Biden saying ho, ho, ho on the 4th of July.
And we give thanks to our commander-in-chief, the President of the United States, the extraordinary President of the United States, Joe Biden!
And you guys think...
Happy Independence Day!
At least you got that right.
Yeah.
You didn't say Merry Christmas.
Right.
That's crazy. And then we got cut number 15. What the heck is Ashley Biden doing on the 4th of July? And look how awkward everybody is. Cut 15. That's Ashley Biden's hands wrapped around her dad. And then she gives some like secret signal or something. Watch this.
Goes like, where's the sleigh and the reindeer?
I guess it's safer to keep him in front of her.
Watch this.
This is horrible.
Yeah, the whole thing is so bizarre. It's hard to watch. Everybody's
That's cringe level like 20.
It's cringe, right? Cringe-worthy. And then I got cut number 10. Brandon Johnson blaming the 100 people shot, 19 fatally in Chicago over the July 4th weekend on Richard Nixon.
What?
Yeah.
Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time. We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes, and people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard Nixon. I'm going to work hard every day to transform this city. That's what it takes to build a better, stronger, safer Chicago. I need everybody to step up.
I just want to play.
Well, he's doing that, by the way. He is transforming that city, just not in the way he would like you to think he's doing.
Putting 1,200 trauma kits and vending machines around the corners to help bleeding to stop. I got 2 more quick clips for you. Cut number 20. Lawrence O'Donnell wants to allow staff on the stage with mics during the debate. Check this guy out.
To allow the candidates to have as many staff as they want, join them on the stage throughout the debate, and make sure that all of them have microphones. And the candidates should be allowed to turn to their staffs and confer with them about anything.
We could blow him
at any
up
time in the debate.
Yeah, really.
And
please.
we should be able to hear everything they.
Aaron,
this is insanity.
what is it with former Congress people who take jobs on TV and show that they're just morons? What is it? Scarborough, this guy, they're just idiots.
I don't understand. So he wants the next debate to have
because
help.
It's not about the man;
like
it's about the people
like
around
Family
him.
Feud. 5 of you stand there.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
You know what? That might actually be entertaining to watch.
Joe couldn't even do the introduction. This is my sister. My wife.
That would be a good town hall event, maybe.
They aren't laughing at us now. That will certainly.
Yeah. Just really quick, cut number 21, government PSYOP fomenting civil unrest right before your eyes. Look at these fake, phony frauds. I say they're feds. Cut number 21 in Nashville, Tennessee.
Always in Nashville.
Yep.
2 U-Haul trucks unload 50 white men, all look like they trained at Quantico, with masks on, and the Proud Boys challenged them and were ripping their masks off, and they all ran away hiding their face because the government is fomenting this message that white nationalists, racists are marching in the street for Donald Trump. All of their uniforms are pressed. They all have flags, look like they're out of central casting, out of the Marvel Studios in Hollywood.
Man, these guys are not
this is
playing
baloney.
around, bro.
You know what?
Out of the U-Haul.
I feel like I'm watching human trafficking. Are we watching human trafficking?
They trafficked them in a U-Haul
against people riding in the backs of those trucks.
Yeah. Well, they've been in Coeur d'Alene. They said, they're on the way to a pride parade. The whole thing is ridiculous. Watch this closely. This will be the next 4 months in America. So I got more for you later.
All right, very good, David. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout, 50% off. Great savings with the code. And, of course, you can get our shirt of the month absolutely free if you do use our code. Slick, what's going on?
All right, well, let's go to the rodeo, Big D, the St. Paul Rodeo, St. Paul, Oregon, at the St. Paul Rodeo Rio Arena. Good theme there, right? All Around Cowboy was Haven McGedd, $3,600 for tie-down roping and team roping. Bareback riding went to Jacob Lees, 88 points on Sankey Pro Rodeos and Phenom Genetics. Mustard, $846. Not bad. Steer Wrestling, the second round. Dalton Massey, 3.5 seconds, 4,500. Team roping, Junior D's and JC Flake, 4.4 seconds. Saddle Bronc went to Cade Bruno, 87 point on Big Ben Rodeo's Broken Camp. Tie down, Bo Cooper, 7.4 seconds. Barrel racing went to Emily Beisel, 17.2 tenths for time there. Bull riding, we had a tie. TJ Gray on Maxa Pro Rodeo's Big River and Casey Hitt on 4-Star Rodeo's Diamond Dust, 85.5 points. Total payout on this rodeo, $469,876. Get to a couple of more of the baseball scores, give you an update here. The Reds right now leading the Rockies 6-0 in Cincinnati, bottom of the 8th. White Sox trail the Twins 2-1 in Chicago, bottom 5. I gave you the finals earlier tonight with the Pirates over the Mets, Cardinals over the Nationals, Tigers blanking the Guardians 1-0. Rangers take on the Angels, and the Braves at the Diamondbacks 9:38 and 9:40 first pitch respectively. All-Star game is on deck. Can't wait for the All-Star game. And well, some folks have been asking me about the Formula Racing John Force, NHRA, National Hot Rod Association, his status. He had a very bad crash last week, and John Force is still dealing with symptoms from traumatic brain injury after crash. Team expresses optimism. Force suffered serious injuries in his horrific crash. We talked about this last week with the crash of Ryan Gatos of Fox News. National Hot Rod Association legend John Force was moved out of intensive care as he recovers from severe injuries he suffered in a horrific crash last month. John Force said the funny car driver was moved from neuro-intensive care and into acute neuro care, but is still dealing with issues from the traumatic brain injury he suffered in the race. Still, the team expressed optimism. His family took some pictures of him as well. We don't have time to show that, but the team said the next step would be moving him to a facility that specializes in treating traumatic brain injuries. So the great John Force, one of the best of the big thing, is in recovery.
All right, more news. Let's talk about who we think is going to be the VP pick. We'll go around and get everybody's best option at this point. Saw a report tonight. Kristi Noem's official social media accounts mysteriously taken down.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, what does that mean?
ET phone home.
All right, we're back right after this.
Working.
All right, let's go live in the chat. Who Dat Nation? Only a half hour left. Crazy how fast this goes.
Unbelievable.
Let's see the chat. Who do you think at this point is best VP pick of what we know, or who we don't know? Is there a
Stacey
big,
T
is there a big
says
surprise
Vance.
out there? Stacey T says who?
Vance.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. He's like the number one guy right now.
John Q. Public says Mike Lindell for VP.
Nice.
We love Mike. We love Flynn too, but it's not going to happen. Handsome Smitty, Byron Donalds. Foxy Dog, Itchy Paws, Vivek. What's up, man? Lori Waddle, Vance.
Ben Carson, JD Vance, JD Vance, JD Vance. JD, Newsom, Colonel Allen West, Ben Carson, Vivek, Byron, Ben, Vance, Peter Navarro, General Flynn,
Rubio,
Sam Renfro, Tulsi,
Dr. Ben Carson,
Lee Stefanik is not going to get it.
Michelle,
No.
Bannon, Eric Trump, Ben Carson,
I saw Lee Zeldin on Levin last night.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mark Robinson,
He's great.
He is fantastic.
Lovely.
He'd be
Don
a nice
Jr.,
pick.
Vivek,
He checks a lot of boxes too.
He's stuck
Newt.
by Trump.
You know,
Vance.
and his family and his background. He
Trump's
checks a lot of
lawyer.
boxes, that kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haktua.
I did some work for him. He's still younger than me.
That would be a good curveball.
The only way to counter Kamala with Haktua.
Everybody on the show's a kid to me.
I want Ben Carson. I would like to see Zeldin up
I've
there.
now seen 3 votes for me. You people
I like
need
Ben Carson
help.
too. I love Ben.
3 votes for Damon. Drag Blacker wants Damon.
A fourth vote for me.
Oh, big
wow. Handsome Smitty.
I have as many as Ben Carson has, but maybe not.
You better remember to do that second read then.
Oh, yeah.
Debbie Measy,
Damn thing
Zeldin.
logged me out right in the middle of a read. I had to fake it.
I know, I laughed at it.
God.
Drag Blacker says Rick Delgado.
Glad you guys find it amusing.
Sarah Huckabee would be great. I love her.
Yeah, no. No way.
I know.
Keep her right where she is. She's much more effective as a governor.
She is. I know. I'm just saying. I like her. I love her.
In Washington. I like her too.
I want a strong woman in there. That's what I want. I need that.
Well, you might get
not the idiot you have now at VP.
You might get Christine Ohm. She's a woman.
I'm a woman, and I don't.
Well, everybody knows the next medical crisis is just around the corner. Whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite, you and your family need to be prepared. And, of course, that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company. We have their great doctor, Dr. Peter McCullough, on the show. Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust. And their new medical emergency kit is the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Be ready for anything. The medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and Z-Pak. The medical emergency kit provides a guidebook to aid in the safe use of all these life-saving medications, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID, even a bioweapon like the plague. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand to be prepared. Go to www.twc.health/voice today and order. www.twc.health/voice today and order. That's twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE for an additional 10% off. All right, 31 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Rav and the whole team will be heading out. Caitlin will be heading out there with TP, Turning Point as well, for the Republican convention starting next Monday, week from today. Obviously going through Thursday night, where President Trump will give his acceptance speech and officially become the nominee. And usually the night before is when you have the vice presidential nominee speak on Wednesday night. And of course, right now, we don't know who that's going to be. So let me go around. Audience weighed in during the break. If you're with us on social media, I saw a lot of good names in there. David Zier, I'll start with you. Given what you know, do we get one of the names that we've heard battered around? Do we get somebody else? Who is your pick as of right now?
Well, I think what makes sense for Trump might be J.D. Vance. I want to see Ben Carson, maybe Byron Donalds. I really like Lee Zeldin. New York could be in play. He was loyal to Trump, and he stuck by him even while he was running for governor. He said he was a Trumper during the debate, and he was Trump's attorney during the impeachment. There's others on the short list, but I think J.D. Vance may make sense for demographic reasons. New blood.
For sure.
But, Vance was critical of Trump years ago, but maybe that's okay. Everyone evolves. And he's been steadfast. So,
Slick, who do you like right now?
Well, I like Kristi Noem early out of the gate, and then she started to shoot her dog and things like that. Got a little crazy with the guns and all, and I don't know. She kind of lost me at some point. I think she lost a lot of people. Right now, I like Tim Scott. I think he's somebody that I think President Trump is going to look at. Certainly will help him with the black vote. Although I don't think he's going to need a lot of help. I think he'll do well there. But I really like Tim Scott. He's strong. I like the way he speaks. I thought he was very powerful. I saw a couple of the rallies he was at. So, I'm going to go Tim Scott right now at 58 years old. I like him. He's the perfect age to come in as a VP and grow into
All right,
president.
very good. Delgado?
All right.
The questions get harder as we go along.
You know what it is? Because my choices have gotten harder. I've identified a few more that I think might make great choices. I've been a big Byron Donalds fan for a long time.
Okay.
So Byron Donalds would be probably my first pick, but then somebody pointed out Devin Nunes. I'm like, wow, Devin Nunes is awesome. He was right there, right at the beginning when all this stuff went down about the
and
spying.
Kash Patel was with him.
Right, Kash Patel was with him. You mentioned Lee Zeldin, of course, having a New Yorker there, might be a good, New York's in play within single digits. And then my outsider, believe it or not, I'm going to say it, and I said this a long time ago as part of the scheme to dry up the big money. Here it comes. You ready? You remember? Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm saying because, when people were like, oh, well, he's running against him. He said he wouldn't run against him. I told you, I thought they were working together. You suck up the rhinos, take care of them. I'll take care of the other side. You drop out. We'll get them out of the way, and it'll be clear sailing. I'll bring you in late. I don't know. I think
I was originally DeSantis Trump, but that was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, he's clearly the best choice. There's no debate in who would be the best choice policy-wise. You can't find somebody policy-wise who has had more wins, who is more antithetical to what the left wants to do, who has had wins on everything from COVID to education to schooling to law to DEI to colleges to law enforcement. There's not an issue you can name that he hasn't won on in Florida.
Yeah, and not only that, the way he's been able, at least when he's in governor mode, when he was on the campaign trail, he sucked.
Yeah.
But when he's governor of Florida, the way he tackles and destroys the media to their face is Trump-like.
If every red state was Florida, this national election would matter a lot less because we would have enclaves of making red states as red as blue states are blue, which is what we need to do. And he is the example of how to do that. He has taken a state that was blue, purple, and demolished the Democrat Party. There is no Democrat Party in Florida. That's why people want him to stay
in his role, right? I think someone that would be so refreshing right now would be someone like a Vivek Ramaswamy, which I don't think is in the running right now, but I think he would have drawn attention from some of those younger voters that we've been talking about tonight. And just what a refreshing perspective he has, right? And his age.
He was a big hit at Turning Point this December.
Huge. And what a great orator he is, where he stands on certain policy issues. Again, the word is just refreshing, in my opinion.
I mean, Vivek to me seems a little more like political jello. I don't know. He kind of molds himself into kind of whatever they need at the moment, it seems to me. But I see why people like him.
But
certainly.
Look at some of these guys we're talking about. We're talking about a Vance. We're talking about a Rubio. They also have evolved and changed their stances on things. Vivek maybe just did it more rapidly and understood how to play this game, right?
Who do you think? I mean, you're in touch, obviously, with Turning Point, the younger people. I don't know if you guys have taken any polls or done any Who are the younger people, 20s, 30s? Who are they in line with?
J.D. Vance all the way.
Really?
All the way.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure. I think he has a likability factor, and I think because of this current list we have, look, like a Lee Zeldin would have been great. I think he also has this mild-mannered personality, but that's also what Mike Pence had, and I don't know if that's what the people are looking for.
See, I think Mike Pence at the time had more of the solid Christian he was the conservative. If you could have picked at the time somebody and said, "Boy, you're not going to get a more thorough conservative,
right,
through and through."
Right.
Mike Pence. Mike Pence was that guy.
Yeah, he was that lifeline to the base of the regular GOP voter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and J.D. Vance won the Turning Point straw poll in Detroit, right? With like 43%.
That's funny if you say that. I'm interested in why that is because I don't know. Where and how has J.D. Vance connected with all these young people? Through where? I mean,
probably just by look.
39 years old don't hurt either.
I think the working class aspect, hillbilly elegy type stuff, his service to our country. He's a younger demographic, an independent voice. Maybe educated. I'm just throwing things out.
What about you, Damon? You've got us.
I've got 4 or 5 votes in here. I think I'd rather be press secretary, to be honest with you. At least for the one day that I would last. I'd at least have fun.
No, I'm asking you, who's your VP pick?
Oh. Yeah. Who's my VP pick?
Yes. Right away, he's running to
right. He's trying to get himself another job.
My VP pick would be DeSantis, number one. I do like J.D. Vance. I'd put him right up there. I like him a lot. I think he'd be good policy-wise. I think he'd be absolutely fantastic with the media. He's not going to take any of their nonsense. I think he fits. I think he's a good wingman for Trump. And I also think he could be someone that in 4 years, because I look at it as nobody, not even Trump, and if it was DeSantis at the top of the ticket, not even him, would be able to fix this country in 4 years. It's not happening.
No.
So the Republican Party, to try to get back the damage that has been done by this guy and to prevent the damage that this party, who hates America, wants to do, you need somebody who can win 2 terms coming off these 4. Mm-hmm. You need 12 years to maybe have the country that we all grew up in left by the time it's all said and done. For us not to have $100 trillion in debt, and for every place around here to look like that park in New York, you need 12 years. So it's got to be somebody who can come out of there and win.
Yeah.
Because, once they're past the Biden thing and the Obamas and the Clintons are finally history in this party, who do you see in 4 years coming out for them? They start to turn to a younger generation there. Is it Hakeem Jeffries? Is it... I don't think Kamala Harris is not the future of the party. I don't care what what's his name says. You got to think about who you're going to be facing 4 years over there. What radical are you going to be facing? Is it the guy who wanted to be the governor of Florida? He's going to revamp his image. They're going to check all the boxes. It's going to be some, whatever.
What guy?
The guy who ran for governor against DeSantis, who ended up on the floor, coked out with
naked and coked up.
Oh, trust me, he'll
I don't know about that one.
You'll have booty juice. You'll have Hakeem. You'll have the governor of Maryland. They're talking about him now. Every young African American or whatever box they check, you'll have.
What do we think? There's some buzz on social media right now. Kristi Noem, her social media account, the governor's social media account has just been deactivated.
Yeah, I saw that. I said that going into the break. I saw their social media accounts were deactivated.
Turns out David Zier took control of that, too.
I love South Dakota.
She saw him Bitcoin, too.
South Dakota is one of my favorite places. And I like Kristi Noem. She did a good job in South Dakota with the economy. She did great during COVID. She attracted tech businesses there. She changed the economy from just dolomite and other things. But she's got her downsides, right? Yeah. So, but J.D. Vance brings Ohio, too. So that's good for
Sarah
J.D.,
Huckabee would be great. I love her.
Yeah.
Love to see her get in.
Well, that's some people are saying that, right, about the VP pick. We need to have someone that actually brings a state to the picture here. So that's an interesting aspect to look at. And so now when does he announce?
Next Monday, I think.
Do you think he does it at one of the
early?
Doesn't he have a couple rallies coming up this
Saturday?
week?
Tomorrow,
Pennsylvania.
There's a big one.
Tomorrow, Florida.
Yep.
I mean, it's hard to imagine it couldn't be this week.
I heard by next Monday.
Going into the convention on Monday, you would think we would have to know.
Yep.
I don't know. It'll certainly be interesting to see who he settles on.
A lot of people in the mix.
I see people saying, well, he can't pick till he knows who he's running against. I don't think that matters at all. I don't think it matters one bit. I mean, he's been asked about it a couple times, and he says he thinks it's going to be somebody that people are going to like. He almost makes it sound like people are going to go. I've kind of got the feeling from him in some of his answers when he's been asked about it, that he almost gives off this feeling like you're going to be like, well, yeah, of course it was always going to be that person, right. Which would lead me to believe more like towards the governor of Florida or the governor of South Dakota, unfortunately.
Well, he's in Butler on Saturday, which is right near the Ohio border. Maybe he picks Vance on Saturday.
I would not be displeased with Vance at all. I would not be unhappy with Vance whatsoever.
Be a good choice.
I think he'd be fine. All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back to wrap it up on a Monday. Right after this.
She might be.
Like he is in Florida? She termed out? She's won twice, right?
Yeah,
she's done.
She's done twice.
Yeah.
WMD 45 in the Rumble chat says Damon is a DeSantis lackey.
I'm happy to take that title. I'm happy to take that title because I actually care about winning on actually things that we supposedly care about. So I'm happily to take that title.
Dave 3504 says JD all the way.
Yeah, Noam is termed out.
You care about winning the issues when they matter, at the time they matter. I'll happily take that title because that's exactly what he's done. And that's what we're supposed to care about.
37 states.
Everybody can fight for COVID 3 years later and be a tough guy. Everybody can fight against DEI and fight against Disney and fight against things when it's all, easy and popular.
RD Bull said DeSantis will be the big gun in 2028. And to be the big gun, I think he needs to, because he's going to have those 2 years in between. Because once his term finishes in 26.
I think DeSantis ran a horrible campaign.
DeSantis is a rhino.
On the road.
One of the more laughable things I've ever seen.
On the road, I had international reporters come up to me and tell me they were mistreated by the DeSantis people. They didn't like it. And then he threw out the Brendan Dilley fan in a wheelchair out of a Trump rally in Iowa. They made a lot of mistakes and they didn't connect with the people. Like the Trump team is so nice. They're nice and they're engaging.
You hear that time and time.
And Haley and DeSantis' team was not as friendly to the press, and they were not as friendly to the people.
I don't think they realize what big of a difference that makes, right?
Yeah, because like Trump, somebody very influential, I can't say who, came up to me from the media and said, Trump reaches out to the New York Times. Trump reaches out. The team, they go head on with the left-wing press and the MSM. They're not afraid, instead of being like, everything.
Right.
Being close to the vest.
What do you mean you can't say? Just
no, I can't.
Stop. All right, Karine Jump, David Zier.
No. Nope. But it's somebody that we all like, and but they just didn't like the way they were treated by the
People
campaign.
talk about Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard.
She can't be. She's not in the running. Come on. She'd be worse than. She's a Democrat.
I think she's more of an independent.
She'd like you to think that.
But that's me. I don't know.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Let's do a little more sports. We'll try to get around the panel to everybody here. Slick, what's going on?
All right, one more shot at the scoreboard. Big D. Right now, Cardinals 6-0 over the Nationals. That just went final. I told you the Pirates beat the Mets earlier tonight, 8-2, and Braves over the Diamondbacks 1-0. That's in the top of the first. Reds blanking the Rockies 6-0 as a final. Grizzlies and Jazz, NBA Summer League, Big D underway, 41-31, and the Sixers 102-92. Like I said, NBA League underway. Bronny James sits out, Big D, knee injury, so already issues with Bronny James. I think we're right, he's going to be a bust with that team all around. And Tiger Woods reportedly turns down offer to be Ryder Cup captain. This is Larry Brown Sports. The U.S. Ryder Cup team is looking to bounce back from last year's disaster in Italy. Remember that one, Big D? But it does not sound like Tiger Woods is going to be the one to assemble the newest squad. Woods has declined an opportunity to be captain of the 2025 U.S. Ryder Cup team. According to a report from The Telegraph, the 15-time major champion is said to be more focused at the moment on his role in the ongoing merger negotiations between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. We'll have more news on that coming up. And that's a wrap in sports tonight, Big D. Got a busier week coming up, but that's a good go on sports for now.
All right, very good. Slick Sports is brought to you by MyPillow. Mike Lindell. Make sure you shop there for all your whatever you need. It's always great to go over there. Great stuff from Lindell. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. David Zier, what else is going on with you?
Well, it looks like they have on film rockets being fired from residences inside Lebanon at Israeli forces and at civilian targets. This is cut number 22 Hezbollah on the move, getting weapons from China and Iran. They think those are RPGs, but they just got Chinese anti-tank missiles to upgrade from the Russian ones they've had. And things are really heating up over there. And then I just got cut 17. Oops, Mika, you like Donald Trump?
What did you learn, Mika?
I learned that Donald Trump, again,
He's a nice guy.
he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he gave a wonderful donation to the Global Medical Relief Fund. My daughter's having a fundraiser. She worked there. Thank you.
Did he give you $100,000 like he gave Axelrod?
No. It was not that.
Talk about it.
Yeah. But it was really, really nice of him. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's a whoops moment for them.
Actually, it wasn't
Not
a whoops
really.
moment at the time it happened.
Not
Yeah,
at
it
the
was
time.
It just proves that
that's when they had him on the show.
Yeah.
any of them can be bought.
Yeah, and I just have one more quick thing. Unemployment rate has ticked up to 4.1%. 74% of jobs added last month came from government and healthcare and education. May jobs were revised down, guys, like we always say, 272,000 to 218,000. April jobs were revised down from 165,000 to 108K. Black and Asian unemployment rates increased. Full-time employment in June actually decreased by 28,000 workers. Part-time employment went up by 50,000 workers, and that's all I got for you guys.
The media reporting on the job scam that the White House keeps giving us is as bad now as the reporting on Biden himself for the last 3 years. And somewhere down the line, when everything collapses, the media then is going to be like, oh, look at this. These guys. Then they're going to care about the fact that the jobs numbers have never been what they've told us. The jobs numbers, the CPI, which we're going to get Wednesday morning at 8:30, that reading, that basket of nonsense that they try to shove down our throat every month on where things are. Of course, everybody who's living in the real world knows that none of that matters to them because all they know is they go to the grocery store and they spend $400 and they look down in the cart and they go, well, geez, I didn't buy that much. So their reporting on the jobs numbers is as insane and inept and backwards as their reporting on Biden and his mental capacities have been for 3 years. The jobs reports in this country are horrific. Any jobs that we're creating are government jobs or part-time jobs for people, and most of them are going to illegal aliens or some kind of non-U.S. citizen. That's where the jobs are going. They're getting revised down every single month. But when they come out, media, another breakout jobs report for Biden, another breakout jobs report. The next month, we cut it in half last month. Nobody reports on the cutbacks.
Mm-mm.
So it's a total joke.
There's still so much they haven't admitted. This is the same media that told us that the vaccine was safe and effective. The same media that told us the 2020 election was the fairest election of our lifetime. The same media that refuses to admit there's a crisis at the border, a job crisis, inflation is real, and that Joe Biden is perfectly healthy. So I think the American people are waking up.
And that's why they detest the media, as they should. Delgado, what else is going on with you?
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because as we were listening to that clip where we had Karine Jean-Pierre arguing with the media, you're talking about the two entities that lie to us the most about the same thing, now fighting amongst each other about who's lying about what. Yeah. So don't you think they'd lie about they've lied about wars, they've lied about pandemics, as Caitlin mentioned, they lied about the voting. They lied about Ukraine, NATO, legislation that they want to pass, immigration. They've lied about climate change, about the bird flu, about what's going on in Maui, which is still nothing. East Palestine, which is still nothing. Foreign aid, they lie about that. They've lied about Trump for all these years. They lied about taxes. They lie about crime. And as Damon mentioned, they lie about jobs and the economy. They lie to us about everything. So why are we surprised at this point?
Yeah,
especially when it comes to the current resident-in-chief saying he's at the top of his game. Here's cut number one. You tell me, does this look like a guy who's at the top of his game?
A bumper sticker on a senior
raised
citizen's
in a black
car.
church, where I guess you get nap
I
time.
may be slow, but I'm in front of you.
Huh?
Use our president.
Now he's confused because I don't think he knows where he is.
Experience. Use his handicaps and be glorified in his life. In Jesus' name, let's receive our president, the president of the United States, President Joe.
Like, that's you, stupid.
That's you, Joe. Shuffle on there.
Just no idea where he is or what he's doing.
Rick, do you have the clip of him giving the cash to
Yes,
the pastor?
that's the next clip. Cut number 2, because this is what you do at the black church here. Cut number 2.
How sweet the sound.
Oh no, this isn't the cash clip. I don't think I sent that one. But he doesn't know what they're doing. That's like me? Are you talking about me?
You saving me?
Well, they tell everyone to stand up, and he stays seated.
Yeah, he stays seated.
Am I the wretch?
He's not found.
Wow.
Let us stand together.
Let's stand. Everybody stand. That means you, Joe.
At the cross where I first saw the light.
He doesn't
Crazy.
stand.
Oh, my
God. The burden of my heart rolled away.
He's finally getting the rhythm, though.
I mean,
Yeah, he grew up in a black church, right?
if I was in there and I was listening to these two singers, I think I'd be frozen in time too. Holy
they're
good
a little,
Lord.
little off key.
Not exactly. Oh my God.
And here's a quick thing. Something that CNN voters are seeing that they pretty much have never seen before is now being admitted to. Here's cut number 8. Check this out for yourself.
Point. I will end on this point, Jim. There are voters in the electorate who have never seen a Republican presidential candidate leading in the polls at this point, but those voters, those young voters, are seeing one right now in Donald Trump.
Wow.
Very interesting. All right.
Look at Jim Acosta just like,
must
wow.
have killed him.
That guy's pretty excited to do his charts there.
Yeah.
Commercial.
So, there you
Hey,
have
before
it.
we go, first of all, Caitlin, thank you so much for sitting in with us. It's been a great, it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And good luck with everything the Turning Point's doing.
Yes, gonna need it. And I'll come back and fill you guys in on what we're doing. Big stuff coming up.
We'll be looking for you at the convention next week, too. Have a great time out there with the crew, and everybody at RAV will be out there as well. Just before we wrap, you guys, I just want to remind you, because speaking of Turning Point, Charlie Kirk tweeted out tonight, remember, Democrats are holding a virtual roll call on July 21st, where delegates will officially nominate their presidential candidate. This is their real deadline, not the DNC. Ooh. If Biden survives through July 21st, the Democrats will be officially stuck. And so will Team Chemtrails with Joe Biden.
Until the 25th Amendment.
Until they remove it.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel, all our truckers, all our farmers, everybody that keeps the country moving. Thanks, everybody on the show. Thanks to Caitlin Sinclair for sitting in. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here, live from Studio 6B.